Welcome to 6th grade Advanced U.S. History at the Center for Gifted Studies at Dunedin Highland Middle School. I'm Mrs. Playford. This is my 12th year teaching at DHMS, my 8th year teaching U.S. History, and my 6th year in the Center for Gifted Studies. I love to cook, taking walks, drinking coffee, going to the beach, inquiry and research, and spending time with my wonderful family. I am trilingual. I'm a native Floridian, and I graduated from the University of South Florida with my bachelor's degree in social science education. So throughout this year in Advanced United States History, students will be learning within the following thematic units of study: thinking like a historian, early settlement and colonization. Then we jump into the American Revolution, follow with the early republic, westward expansion, and then finally in the last grading period, we will cover the Civil War and Reconstruction. As far as supplies that we're using in class, students will be using their PCS issued laptops daily, as we are going to be on Canvas daily, except for when we're taking post-tests. So students should keep their laptops fully charged, and I advise them to also bring along their computer charger so they can charge throughout the day in any of their classes. However, I do have a handful of chargers in class that students can borrow while they're in history to charge their computers. Some additional supplies that we strongly recommend are just having some personal hand sanitizer on hand, though it's found throughout our classrooms, and then also a water bottle, as there's a water filling station this year, and water should be the only liquid that the students are consuming in class. Students will keep a composition book on the shelf, either a composition book or a notebook. Color does not matter. It could be orange to match the history folder that they keep some documents in that are given to them throughout the year, or it could be a color of their choice, but we will be keeping notes in that notebook and it can remain in class. I also advise that students have pencils or pens on them, highlighters, sticky notes, and then it doesn't hurt to have some colored pencils and a pencil pouch with a sharpener and a handheld stapler too. But all of those resources, of course, are available to students in my classroom. So some classroom expectations I have are that students are on time and prepared to learn, that they have their required supplies. That's part of the preparation. I ask that they always respect and be kind to myself, but also their fellow classmates. I'd like for them to complete assignments and absent work on time. I'd like for students to keep hands and personal space clean for the safety of all. I would love for them to participate during the class and listen during instruction. Students should be responsible for their own learning. Questions that are personal or concerns that students have should be shared privately with the teacher and not at the very beginning of class when we're trying to kick things into gear, as I've been working with the students to help them meet expectations. But during class time or the email would be a great time to touch base with me with any concerns. And then, of course, I want students to always learn from but never dwell on their mistakes. Mistakes are inevitable, but if we can learn from them, they're really not so bad. Ultimately, I'd like for everybody to be kind, be honest, and always strive to achieve their absolute best. That is what I expect from our wonderful students. All right, so on this slide, there's a lot of information, and this is where you can reference anything regarding digital resources that we use in the classroom, or Some notes I've got down here on like the grading policy and also assignments in class. Um, you can see an update on your child's progress via the student's PCS Focus account and Canvas at any time. I ask that you please check Canvas and Focus frequently, as this is what's going to inform you of your child's progress during each grading period, as well as when assignments are due. PCS Focus and Canvas serve as my constant communication with you throughout the year regarding your child's assignments, personal progress, and possible behavioral concerns. Um, Keep in mind, Canvas is where all assignments with instructions, read alouds, and documents are housed within organized modules for each new unit of study. I provide feedback for assignments when they're graded, and that can be found in Canvas by clicking on grades in the left panel and checking for any text or speech bubbles. At least that's what they look like, indicating that there are comments for that assignment. So if a student has, a 0 or an incomplete on an assignment, there generally are going to be those, speech bubbles there that indicate why they received that grade and what they can do to earn credit for the assignment. Students can complete, submit, and if necessary, resubmit all assignments with the exception of tests and quizzes without a late penalty. So as long as the assignment's turned in by the end of the grading period, no points are deducted for tardiness, though, as I mentioned in the syllabus, it's not a good idea to make a habit of missing deadlines. And I do sync grades from Canvas to Focus regularly. So if a student shows that they've completed the assignment in Canvas, but it still hasn't updated that in Focus, it will rather soon. Focus is where the grade book is housed, and that's where you can see what students have earned on their assignments. Just keep in mind, NG means the assignment still hasn't been graded, and a 0 is just a reminder to complete and submit one's missing assignments. So it's not permanent. Finally, TCI can be accessed through Clever, and that's where students can reference their history textbook and workbook. Should you ever need to get in touch with me, the best way to do so is via email. My email address is playfordl@pcsb.org. And I'm really looking forward to this year with you. I feel like we're embarking on a journey together, and I know it's going to be an absolutely amazing year. Please, at any point in time, should you have any questions, concerns, or comments, don't hesitate to reach out via email. And again, I think it's going to be a fantastic year.